IHOP has an early pancake special of $2 per stack of buttermilk pancakes before 10 a.m. The regular price after 10 a.m. is $4 per stack. However, IHOP can only sell at most 30 stacks of pancakes and needs to make at least $100. So now we have to make a system of inequalities. As we can see from the word problem, is 2 stacks of buttermilk pancakes before 10 a.m. So we could use this as our x. Now is $4 per stack after 10 a.m. So we could use this as our y. And since we need to make it at least $100 or has to be greater or equal to, that's going to be what we're looking for. For our second inequality, we know that we can't sell more than 30 stacks of buttermilk pancakes, so we do x plus y is less than or equal to 30.
So our next step is trying to solve for the boundary point, which in this case we will choose a substitution method. So first we're going to converting the first and second equation into a slope-intercept form. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the first equation, which is 2x plus 4y more than or equal to 100. Then we would subtract both sides by 2x, so they could get cancelled out. And then we would divide by both sides by 4, so they could get cancelled out. And then y would have more than or equal to 100, negative 2x over 4. But in this case, if we simplify those equations, then we would get y have more than or equal to 25 minus 1 over 2x. And so this would be our slope intercept for the first equation. Okay, so for second equation, which is x plus y less than or equal to 30, in this case we would subtract x for both sides, so x will get cancelled out. So and then y would less than or equal to 30 minus x, and this is going to be our slope intercept form for the second equation. Okay, so next we're gonna set the first equation and the second equation as the slope intercept form together, then to solve for the x, and then it would be 25 minus 1 over 2x equal to 30 minus x. So we will subtract both sides by 25, so this will get cancelled out, and then this would equal to 5, and then we would add 1x for both sides, so they could get cancelled out, and then it would be 1 over 2x equal to 5. So we would multiply both sides by 2 over 1, so they could get cancelled out. So and then x would equal to 10. Okay, so now we know that x is equal to 10, but the problem is that we didn't know what is the volume of y yet. So now we would use either the first or the second equation to solve for y. But in this case, I will choose the second equation to solve for y, which is x plus y less than or equal to 30. Then if I plug in the y volume, the x volume would be 10 plus y less than or equal to 30, and then I will subtract both sides by 10, and then they will get cancelled out, and y would have less than or equal to 20. And in this case, the boundary point in this system of inequality would be at 10, 20. So our next step is going to show you how to graph the system of inequality. So the first thing that we know is we're gonna plug in the boundary point for both the equation, which is as x for 10 and 20 for y, which is right here. And then we're gonna start by graphing the first equation, which is the y more than or equal to negative 0.5x plus 25. And in this case, they are both linear, so we know that it's a straight line, and the y-intercept for the first equation is at 25, which is right here. And then that would be the line for the first equation. And also we know that y is actually more than the volume, so we will set above the line. And for the second equation, it would be same thing as the boundary point, but also it's linear, and we know that the y-intercept is at 30, so it's gonna be around here. And then there would be the graph for the second equation, and also you know that y is actually less than, so then the region will be shaded in blue. It's gonna be around right here.